Hello everybody. In today's lesson, we will go over tables and for loops. These are very important to programming in Roblox, specifically for data, iterating over instances, and more. Without further ado, let's get into it. If you've watched my tutorial on variables, you would know that variables hold a value. Tables are a type of variable. The difference being is that they hold multiple different values all in one variable. An example of this would be an inventory with different values for each object inside it. To program this into Roblox Studio, let's first make a table. You can name it whatever you want, but I'm going to name it inventory. Follow as I type, as this is how you type out a table. You can also type out a table like this. Tables work in an index value way, where each value in a table has an index starting from 0, going left to right or up to down. Due to that, these tables can be written as so, due to each index being a variable and the value is the index's value.
Many different things we can do with the tables. For example, we can print them out. So if we print inventory and we press play, we'll see this little icon. If we click the drop down, it shows each index and each value of the table. That's just a good thing to note. However, the more important thing is for loops, or I/v in inventory do print v. Let's analyze what this does. So for each index, which would be item 1, 2, and 3, comma value, which would be apple, sword, and potion, in the inventory table, it would print V. So it would print apple, sword, and potion. If we were to press play, we see sword, potion, apple. So it would print each value. Perfect. Perfectly done. Nice. However, that's not the only thing it can be limited to. We can also iterate off of objects. So let's get the workspace. Local workspace equals game get service workspace. We can do a for loop for I/v in workspace do print v. Although if we were to press play, it would show up an error because we can't iterate over an instance value. However, if we do workspace get children, it will print out every child object in the workspace item. Due to this calling a table of each item in the workspace. As you can see, all these items are over there. How this works is that getChildren creates a table of all the children objects in some sort of order. I can't tell if it's random or not. You guys can do the research and let me know in the comments down below. That's one cool thing we can do. As you may see though, the character object is mysteriously missing. This is because this prints at the beginning. So for example, if we were to do task.wait5, and now we go press play, after 5 seconds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom, it now shows the player object due to the player not being loaded in. We can also do this with a while loop, although I do say do not use a while loop as it can be very dangerous. While true do, and we do this. The problem is if we don't add task.wait at the end, what will happen is that this will end up crashing Roblox Studio, so we must be careful. Another thing we can do is for I/v in random 1, 3. What this will do is this will get us a random from 1 to 4, and it'll just do that. There's different applications we can do. We can do for each, like for example, local server script service equals game get service server script service. So for every script, it will do something. For example, let's do for I/v in server script service get children print v. This will print out the name of the script we're currently using. convenient. There's many different applications you can do, each having their own purpose. Now I'm going to show you a fun demonstration on how we can use it. Okay, for this next fun activity, we are going to be blowing up all of these people. It may sound cool, but it's all for educational purposes, so it's alright. Sadly for all these people, however, they're all in a folder called explode, meaning we can use a for loop to explode them all. Now I'm using some applications like user input service and remote events, which don't worry about that part for now. I will explain them in a future episode. And for you commenters that are knowledgeable on this, feel free to let know all these people and help them before I release the episode. Please feel free to. Now what this is doing is this is sending something like a message from the local script to the server script, which we will cover that in a future episode whenever the key G is pressed. We already have this set up, so all we have to do is do something whenever the player presses G. What we're going to be doing is blowing these people up. So we're going to make a for loop for I/V in explode. Oh, we have to remember, make sure to actually get it. So get the instance, local explode equals game get service workspace dot explode. Perfect. Now for I/V in explode, get children, always remember to put get children first or it will result in an error. Local explosion, let's make a new explosion, equals instance.new explosion. So we're going to make a new explosion. Next, explosion dot parent set to game get service workspace, so it shows up in the workspace. Now, in order to get these characters' positions, we're going to have to be doing a little something tricky. First, let's make sure so that it knows all of the players, like all of these people we're going to be blowing up, are models. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now, from this, we can get their humanoids. Local humanoid equals v find first child, which is a humanoid. What this does is it gets the first child in like each instance, so each character's like all of their children, and it will find the one that is a humanoid. So now what we're going to be doing is explosion.position set to humanoid.rootPart.position. So it's getting each of these players' positions. So each of these 4 people, we're going to be getting their positions, and then we're going to be setting an explosion there. And for dramatic effect, let's set task.wait to 1. Now, if we've done everything right, let's press play. Let's press G and see what happens. You'll see one by one, each of these people get exploded. It may be a little messed up, but don't worry. It's all for educational purposes, so it's okay. Remember, how this works is we're getting each one of the characters in the explode folder, and for each character, we get their humanoid as so, and then we use that to get their position and create an explosion instance and set the explosion instance's position to that. That's how it works. So if we press G once again, we see each of them will blow up. And due to how tables work, I am pretty confident to say that they will blow up in the same order every single time. I'm not sure entirely how it works. I'm gonna research that a little more. So if anyone knows, please let me know. My main guess is it's in the orders. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's the order. It's this due to their order in the tables. So please just keep that in note. Now, something else we can do is, since we're pretty much running a block of code for every single one, we can also check So let's say we only wanted to explode. Let's say we don't want to explode this noob right here because we feel bad. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go for I/v do if v dot name is equal to noob, then then continue, not coroutine, continue. And what this will do is this will skip its iteration on the list. This is something that works for all loops. And how it works is like it doesn't stop the loop, it just skips to the next one. So if we press play and we start exploding them, we'll notice that little noob here is the survivor. Now let's say we wanted to make the bacon hair, and the bacon hair in this case is named bacon rig. So let's go here, let's do bacon rig, and now when we press play, you'll notice that bacon rig right over here is spared. We can do that with multiple different values. For example, bacon rig, or we can do noob. So now it won't explode neither. Make sure to just like play around and just have fun, Just have fun with this. Trust me, you're gonna have a lot of fun just messing around with for loops, and you can learn a lot. And that's going to be all for today's tutorial. I hope you really enjoyed this one. Trust me, I'm going to have a lot more in the works, so make sure to stay tuned. I'm currently focusing on a game, and I'm actually making a devlog that I'm going to be showcasing in around maybe 1 to 2 months. It depends, but I'll keep you all updated. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.